Hello there guys, Bakugo here, back in another video, and today I'm going to do what if Deku can use Ultra Instinct Part 1. Hope you enjoy it. So before I start the video, I have to explain something about this Ultra Instinct. It's actually a quirk that resembles Ultra Instinct. So it have the same attribute as Ultra Instinct, but it's not actually Ultra Instinct because there's no way I can make Ultra Instinct in this What If or My Hero Academia universe in general. So please keep that in mind and hope you enjoy this part. So our story takes us when Deku go to his usual checkup to see if he have a quirk or not. And like the original anime, he was deemed quirkless, he lost all hope, then they go home. In the way, they cross the road and one of the drivers ran through a red light and he headed straight for them. Then in a flash, Inko and Izuku was teleported to the other side of the road. Inko is just speechless. She looked at Izuku asking him is okay, but she stopped. Deku is different, his eyes are silver and he's surrounded by this weird aura. Then he collapsed. People start surrounding Inko and Izuku asking them if they're okay, and they call the cops and ambulance for Izuku because he's not responding. Shortly after, ambulance arrived, they asked Inko what just happened. She explained that they are going to get hit by a car. A son used his quirk. The doctor told him okay, but Inko told him that's not it because he was deemed quirkless just like 10 minutes ago. The paramedic go, what? Then ask her how this is possible. Inko shook her head, I don't know. Then paramedic do inspection on Deku. He tell her don't worry, he just exhausted. I think he just activated his quirk. But to make sure everything is okay, we are going to take him to hospital. Inko nod. She go with them after she gives her statement to the police. After they carried Deku to the hospital, they did the exam and same happened. They didn't find any trace of a quirk. The doctor asked Inko are her sure that Izuku used a power. Inko nod and he described exactly how Deku will look when he used his power. The doctor tell her to let Izuku spend a few days in the hospital just in case. Inko agreed. When Deku wake up, he asks his mom where they are. She tell him they're in the hospital, they do some exam on him just in case because somehow he activated his quirk. Deku excited about his new quirk, he asks his mom what it is. She tell him they don't know just yet, so that's why you are in hospital for a few days. Deku agreed to stay a few days in the hospital because he will get a quirk, so why not? So doctor spent a few days doing exam on Deku, testing everything they think of to manifest his quirk. They realized that Deku have a bit of super strength in him, but his appearance did not change. According to Inko, when he used his quirk the first time, his hair spiked up a bit, he was surrounded by the weird aura and his eyes go grey. So they try everything. In the last result, they try something a bit unprofessional and endanger the life of Deku. Sure, they assure Inko that Izuku will be okay if anything happened to him. So they go to experiment, and second Deku was almost getting hit, he vanished and appeared far away from the blast or the attack the doctor threw at him. And yep, his eyes turned silver. But as quickly as Deku activated his quirk, he passed out again. The doctor included Deku have two quirks, or it seemed like it. The first one is super strength, and second one is almost like his instinct taken over and granting him even more power. So the doctor gave a name and gave him the name Ultra Instinct. So now let's say time skip few hours, Deku wake up, he asks his mom where he is again. His mom tell him that he passed out after the experiment, and the doctor tell her that he have two quirks. Deku is excited because not only have one, but he have two quirks. Then doctor entered the room and asked her, sorry, your son have only one quirk, but it seems like he have two phases of him. Of that quirk, I mean. The first phase just gave him a bit of power, but the second one is the most interesting thing ever. Somehow his quirk take over him, but it seemed that it only activate when he's in danger. Deku is like a 5-year-old, so he didn't understand anything, so he asked the doctor, can I become a hero with this quirk? The doctor smiled at him, yes you can, but you have to control your power first. And your quirk is called Ultra Instinct. Deku tell him, Ultra Instinct, huh? The doctor tell him, yep. Word of advice kid, just try to control your emotion and try your best to control this quirk, because if you do, I bet you can become a strong hero someday. And you have been discharged from the hospital, you can leave right now if you want. Inko and Izuku thank the doctor, then they leave. So let's say time skip next day. Deku go to his kindergarten and he's trying to talk to his friend, Bakugo, about his quirk. Bakugo is intrigued about the name. He asks Deku to show him. Deku tell him he can't because each time he uses it he passed out, plus he cannot use it unless he was in danger. Bakugo mock him and tell him this is a weird quirk you have, and because of that he got the nickname Deku because most of the time he is useless. So a few years go by and Deku still don't have any control over his quirk. Sure, he's a bit more powerful than a normal human, but not by a considerable amount. So his friends tell him you got lost because they don't want to hang out with a loser. And because of that you have the same Deku as the original enemy, but he's a bit different. He's a bit more quiet because of his quirk nature, because he starts training his emotion and keeping them under control from the moment the doctor tells him to do so. So when people bully him, he honestly doesn't care. So when Deku reached 10 years old, he decided to take out some martial art classes because he is strong, but he figured that if he uses his training correctly, he can overtake or overpower people are stronger than him. So he started training, and his mentor quickly realized that Deku adapted really quickly for his age. After showing him just to do the trick one or twice, he just memorized it and can do it perfectly. And with that comes increase in strength. Deku thinks all this strength give him more muscle, and with that comes even more power. So with it he can use more of his quirk without him losing consciousness. So Deku spent his year training and getting used to his quirk. So now let's say time skip to a year before UA enters exam. Deku is not getting bullied every day, but still he's still lonely because no one wants to spend his time with the useless that cannot use his quirk or control it. But unbeknownst to them, Deku is slowly getting used to his quirk. Though in the last 5 years, Deku spent all his time training how to use his quirk. So he started meditating because after he told his teacher about his quirk, he gave him a regimen to do and maybe help him control his quirk. So Deku can use quite a lot of his power, but still he cannot enter the second phase. So Deku is walking home, he decided to take a shortcut, then he gets attacked by sludge villain. But before the sludge monster can reach him, Deku's instinct kick in and tell him something is wrong. Deku jumped for reacting for his instinct because he's getting used to it. He looked behind him and he see a sludge villain. The sludge villain is impressed with Deku's speed, and he can sense his place or something because he does just his sneak attack. So he tells him that he needs his body to sneak away. Then the sludge villain started making himself bigger and tried to attack Deku, but with Deku's speed, he's jumping from wall to wall, evading the monster as much as he can. And when he had an opening, kick him directly into his eye, doing quite a bit of damage. The sludge villain is pissed. He turned around, looked at Deku, but he stopped in shock and in fear. Deku looked behind him, then he heard, I am here. All Might arrive, see Deku fighting. He tell him good job to keeping the villain at bay and just leave it to him. Then All Might use his Texas Smash to slam the monster against the wall and carry his sludge, I believe. Then Deku take out his notebook and ask All Might for autograph. All Might give it to him, then he flies off or jumps off. But before he jumped, Deku clean up to him, and because of that they land on top of the building. All Might scold Deku a bit, tell him that was dangerous. Deku tell him, yeah I know, just sorry, I have to ask you something. All Might tell him, sure, go ahead. Deku tell him, can I be a hero with a broken quirk? All Might tell him, broken quirk? Deku tell him, yeah, I can only use a bit of my real strength, because my quirk can only activate whenever I was in danger. But each time my quirk activate, I pass out. Then All Might snap inside of him and he transforms to a small Might. Deku is stunned. He asks him is real All Might. All Might tell him about his injuries. Then he tell him he cannot become a hero with a broken quirk like his, because if he faint in the middle of the battle, he will die. Deku is a bit discouraged because of that. Then they part ways. Then they hear explosions. All Might see the explosions. Then he realized that he don't have the battles anymore. He put 2 and 2 together and said, maybe, just maybe, that is the sludge villain, right? Right. Ah, come on. He ran as fast as he can with his small Might form. Meanwhile, Deku, when he heard explosions, hearing that he could not become a hero from his idol really did a number on him, but he was used to it. So when he heard explosions, he goes see what's up with that. When he arrived, he heard that a sludge villain appeared from nowhere and take a student hostage, and the heroes are doing nothing. They are powerless against him. Deku see that the sludge villain that attacked him before, and he realized because of him he got loose. And without him taking, when he see Bakugo's face, he jumped toward the sludge villain. The sludge villain recognized that he boy before. He tried to attack him, but Deku is dodging easily his attack. Then Deku grabbed one of the lumber from the ground and threw it at the sludge villain, hitting his eye again. The sludge villain is in pain. He let go of Bakugo temporarily. Bakugo is yelling at Deku what he's doing here, but Deku is not listening to him. He grabbed him by his shirt and stopped pulling him out. When he almost got his hand out, the sludge villain see him and he prepared to attack him. And before All Might can reach them, Deku instinct kick in and let Deku use his full power for once. Deku teleport in front of everyone. Then he put Bakugo on the ground, and before Bakugo can say anything, he looked at Deku's eyes and they are silver, and he started getting surrounded by this weird aura again. Deku looked at the villain, and before the villain can say or do anything, Deku appeared in front of him and punched him once, creating a tornado and changing the weather, almost like All Might did in the original anime. Then Deku got on his knees, powering down to his base, and he started getting surrounded by some type of mist, and this time he's not unconscious and not inside Deku's head. Okay, I can still think, but my body hurt a lot, but I'm not unconscious, so that's a plus I think. Deku slowly get up, All Might give him a hand and praising him to defeat the villain, but he did get yelled at by the other heroes, but they think that his quirk is unique and powerful. Deku thank him and they let him rest, and Bakugo can only stare at Deku. He doesn't know that Deku have this much power. Then he tell him, yo Deku, for how long have you have this much power? Deku tell him, can you remember the first time I tell you I cannot tap into my power? Bakugo not tell him, yeah. Deku tell him, well, this is my power. It can only activate whenever I am in danger. I'm slowly getting used to the power and I did get stronger over time, but I didn't feel like sharing the information with you because why should I? Bakugo tell him, yep, you're right. Then he get up and leave. After he rests a bit, Deku do the same. In his way home, All Might appear and tell him, good job against the villain. So that was your broken power to speak of, right? Deku tell him, yep, it can only activate whenever I am in danger. But this time somehow after all my training, I did not pass out, but I'm still in quite a lot of pain. All Might stays silent for a bit, then he tell him, what do you think of becoming my successor? Deku tell him, what? All Might tell him that I have the ability to share my power or transfer to another person. So what do you think? Do you accept my power? And before he can say anything, Deku instincts go wild, giving red flag if he accepts this power he will be in big trouble. Deku tell him, I unfortunately cannot accept your power. It seems like my power will not accept yours. All Might tell him, what do you mean? Deku tell him, the moment you tell me that you won't give me your power, my power getting wild right now. He's telling me to get away from your power. And my instinct is always right to protect me, so unfortunately I cannot accept your power. All Might say sign, then he tell him, you are a weird one, you know? Reject a power that will definitely make you the #1 hero. Deku tell him, yeah, sorry, I will going to be #1 hero with my power. Because right now I did see what my power is truly capable of when I control it a bit. So I'm going to use it and become #1 hero with it. And become stronger than you. Then All Might tell him, you're maybe the first one that actually have the power to face me, except for him. Well, take care kid. One thing before I leave, you want to become a hero, right? Deku tell him, yeah, that's my plan. All Might tell him, I'm going to become a teacher next year in UA. So if you pass, when you pass, maybe I'll become your teacher. Deku smiled at him, I will look forward to it. All Might tell him, oh, you actually can smile, huh? Deku tell him, well, my power is basically I have to keep my emotion in check, so I rarely show my real emotions. So I think seeing me smile is a rare occasion. All Might smile a bit, then he tell him goodbye kid, take care. Then they part ways. And I think I'm going to stop it right here. Hope you enjoyed. If you do, drop a like and tell me what you think out in the comment section. And if you're not around here, consider subscribe and peace.